your marketing keys. I'm taking over. Yay. Okay, awesome. All right. I think we are live. Oh, Melanie, we've conquered this technology thing. I think we're both live. Woohoo.
Hi, Val. Excellent. Hi. We're excited to be live with you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Okay, so I am going to introduce to you all Melanie Stover. She actually needs no introduction. I'm pretty sure most of you, unless you're super new to the industry, know who she is. Melanie is one of the owners, or the owner of Home Care Sales. She's going to tell us all about that in just a second. She's been around much longer than I have, or, well, I didn't say much longer, but probably longer than me, huh? When you say
2001 started Home Care Sales.
Yeah, longer than me. So she's a true veteran and knows everything there is to know about direct referral marketing. And that's what she coaches, trains, and does every single day. So with that, I'm going to show this little cool thing on the screen. Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. Tell us about Home Care Sales and what you offer and do for the home health care and private duty industry.
Thanks for asking. And firstly, thank you for having me. And thank you to all of you who are tuning in. I know your time is super precious, so we're going to make this as valuable as we can. I own Home Care Sales, and our firm specializes in home health, hospice, private duty, in-home care, and we help agencies skyrocket their referrals by teaching sales reps and owners the best methods in order to gain those referrals from the referral sources.
Wow, that's an awesome. You practiced that, didn't you?
Well, one of the things we teach at our academy is all about being ready for that opportunity. So when the opportunity knocks, you can go ahead and share what you do with the world. So
she has her elevator pitch down to, and that's awesome. If you ask me what I do, I not have a great elevator pitch. I probably need to go to the academy. So before we go too much further, tell us about the academy and how that works and where your website is so people can get involved.
Well, we're pretty easy to find. We're at homecaresales.com, and you can go there. The academy that we're speaking of, Cheryl Peltek is my business partner, and I created an academy that is really specializes in private duty home care and how to create a process to get repeatable referrals. The academy is an online system. In addition, so that's a home study program you can do on your own, on demand. In addition, it also is a 3-day live event where you get to go and practice. One of the things we strongly believe is that with practice comes proficiency. Just like you were a clinician, this is a skill that you can learn and you can become very proficient at gaining referrals. So our academy is a complete system. It's not just like, hey, let's go to this event and get a pep rally and go home. It's continued support. You sign up today, you can start taking the classes immediately online. And when the next one comes up, and the next one is in Dallas in April,
nice.
Airport, you can go to that, get with peers, get with like-minded people, and share your stories and learn the techniques in practice. And then we have monthly group coaching calls. So those same folks will get on a call with Cheryl and I each month, and we'll talk about the successes, and we'll have a piece of curriculum, and then we'll also problem solve. So anything's fair game where they can ask and get feedback on how to approach referral sources. So think of the academy as a complete sales training system, as opposed to just a boot camp or a one-time event where you go home and you're left to your own devices. So that is our first kind of level one. Think about that as a level one home care sales program called the High Performance Sales Academy. The second piece is we have a master's program. And the master's program talks about you got your accounts, now what? How do you bulletproof them from other agencies who are constantly trying to take them from us?
Awesome. Master's level. Ooh, that's great too. So for all of you who, especially whether you are a client of ours or you are in Elder Care Entrepreneurs in our Facebook group or on our LinkedIn group or wherever you are, and you don't have to be newbies, you can be veteran home care sales and marketing and always learn something from the academy. So go to homecaresales.com and check it out. Okay, next question, because we're gonna keep this short, but the next question is, let's talk about direct referral marketing. What is it? And give us some best practices.
All right, so here is what I consider direct referral marketing. It's feet on the street. It's about going out there and asking for referrals in a meaningful way. And what I mean by that is not just going out there and saying, hey, you got anybody that I can help, or who can I serve? It's about going out there and identifying how you can differentiate yourself from the other competitors in your neck of the woods. And I've lived in some big metropolitan areas, work with some, pretty big competition. Living in San Diego, we had over 300 just in San Diego proper. And so I know competition, having the opportunity to go out and call on case managers who are getting 40 calls a day from different reps, you've got to sound different. So for me, it's about getting super clear on what makes you different and, quite frankly, why they would choose you. Every time you're in front of a referral source, that's what they're really thinking. Like, why would I choose you, Melanie, over the 100 other home care agencies that are in this area? And for us, that begins with breaking down your data. So if you have the luxury of currently being in business, then you have a pool right there. Where did you get these clients from in the first place? And let's talk about what is the strategy to gain more. Because we all believe, and I think you believe this too, Val, is that people who need or could benefit from home care, they all aren't getting it.
Oh,
we know there are many more people that could get home care, benefit from home care, and yet our medical referral sources are not making those referrals. So I do a lot of coaching, we do a lot of training, and I try very hard to empower the sales reps, the owners, and talk about what is your mission? And our mission is to help more people. How are we going to get that story across and become extremely focused on our differentiators? And, practice. You said, oh, I heard your little elevator pitch. Do you have one? And could you say it? Because your referral sources don't have time. Most of our business is drop-in business, meaning we drop into the social worker, we drop in, we don't necessarily have an appointment. If you don't have something of value to share with her in the first literally 30 seconds, you're gone. They're walking away from you. So with practice comes proficiency. We talk about being prepared and having a sales message of the week. We focus on that pretty heavily. We create a sales focus of the month, and then we create a sales message of the week from that. So an example of that would be, obviously this month is February, Heart Month. What can home care do for cardiac diseases or heart failure? Even our non-medical friends, sometimes my non-medical friends say to me, whoa, are you really going to talk diagnosis? And absolutely. It's probably one of my claims to fame in this industry is getting medical referral sources to think in terms of diagnosis on how marketers, how non-medical or in-home care can support the disease process at home. And that doesn't negate our hospice friends. That doesn't negate our Medicare certified home health friends. In fact, it supports their outcomes. So think about this in terms of what can you do to support your business partners, which are really your referral sources. I always say that I recognize and just as a given, it's a foundation that you're going to provide good care. Or else our reps wouldn't be working there. They have too much to do that. Right. Owners wouldn't stick around. They would fix it. So everyone has caring caregivers. Everyone has good owners. That doesn't cut it. What are your differentiators and how are you going to position it so that it can be heard above the noise? The noise is just tremendous. You look in markets like LA and Dallas. Wow, there's just so much noise there with competition. You have got to, as a marketer, figure out what the differentiator is, and that differentiator could be you. It could be just the customer service that you personally are providing. So don't feel like, oh my God, my home care is vanilla. We do bathing, dressing, meal prep. We do OT, PT, speech. Yeah, sure, we all do that. But think about what makes the difference? What makes you unique? And don't go out of the house until you got that. Get your message out for the week. You start with your message on Monday. By Friday, you got that thing nailed. And you are very proficient. And the confidence comes across to your referral sources.
Man, oh man, if you haven't gone to a conference and listened to Melanie, you need to get yourself together and go, or join the academy. Oh my goodness, she knows her stuff. Hold on a second here. I'm going to get rid of some. Okay. All right. So now you've told us a whole lot of stuff in a very short time already, and you're brilliant. But if somebody wanted to go out right now and they hadn't taken the academy, or they hadn't gone through, or they hadn't heard you speak before, can you give us 2 really easy direct referral marketing strategies? And I realize there's so much more to this than just saying, oh, here, hand them a flyer. But can you give us 2 direct referral marketing strategies, according to Melanie Stover, that really can help anybody right now?
Yes. So I'm going to break this down into 2 ways. One, if you're already in business, you got clients, the easiest thing for you to do is to use those clients. So I talked about this. I did a presentation at NAC, National Association for Home Care, a couple years, and I call it my circle of communication, or circle of care. If you have clients already, or patients, if you're a Medicare certified home health or hospice, going back to that referral source and giving them patient updates or client updates helps them paint the picture of how you're supporting that patient at home. And so by just using your current, and I use this a lot with administrators, owners, who maybe don't have the hardcore sales skills that some of our marketers do, and they're a little more like, ooh, I don't really want to go knock on doors and do all that cold calling stuff. This is probably the easiest way for me to tell them, grab your clients, take a look at them. If you're in a state where maybe you needed to get doctor's orders for private duty, or if you're a Medicare certified home health and hospice, you're going to have orders. You have to have a signing physician. So look at where they came from. So you got, where did the patient or client come from? Go back to them, talk to them about that patient, and remind yourself, right now, everybody wants to talk about readmissions and the top diagnoses of readmissions. Use your private duty, home care, in-home care, hospice, or Medicare certified home health to talk about keeping them out of the hospital, right? We're going to keep them out of the hospital within those 30 days. I know in private duty, we don't do that a lot, or in home care, we don't really track our patients or clients that way.
We should.
But the agencies that I work with who are getting audiences where we've never been before, right? You're up in the C-suites at the hospitals. You're in post-acute care collaboratives in your neck of the woods. And if you're doing that and the majority of your competition is not, you're going to get more referrals. The fact that you're going in there talking about Mrs. Jones and describing how your aides are supporting her and her disease process and keeping her out of the hospital, man, you're going to get, you're going to get not only kudos, but be thought of as a care partner and not just a sitter service. You're going to be thought of someone who is going to be part of the solution of keeping these folks out. So that's my kind of top suggestion if you already have patients or clients. Now, if you're new and you're like, man, I don't have that, or maybe I only have 5 and they all came from word of mouth, what am I going to do? The very first thing I would decide is, first you have to decide who your ideal client is or who your ideal patient is. What do they look like? What can you support? Now, every owner I've ever worked with says to me, I want 24/7 clients. That's what they say, right? When I say, who is your ideal client? They're like, oh, I want the 24/7. Got it? Don't know that that's what you want, but go deeper than that. So what does that patient look like? If that's truly what you want, what does that client look like for you? Are they a Parkinson's patient that, is a chronic care disease? It's going to last 20 years and maybe it starts out 4 hours a day and it ends up being 24/7. I don't know. But you have to look at the gifts that you have in your agency, and you've got them. Look at your caregivers, what experience they have. Once you gain that, you hear me talk a lot about kind of doing your homework ahead of time, go after those medical referral sources. Our job is to go out there and position ourselves as the best option for the diagnoses in which they see all the time. So if you feel like you're a Parkinson's guru and that you got that on your staff, then let's talk about the neuro folks. Let's talk about the Parkinson's support groups. Let's look at the movement disorders and movement disorder support areas in your neck of the woods, in your territory. It takes a little bit of forethought, because the shotgun approach of just kind of going out and saying, hey, we're home care, we're great, doesn't work. It worked for me in 1996 when I first started in home care. But, I used to be able to walk into doctors' offices and be like, hi, I'm Melanie. I'm the OT from VNA of Pittsburgh. Can I have a patient? And they were like, oh, that's interesting. Sure. Not anymore, right? It doesn't work like that. So we recognize things have evolved. We recognize the landscape, the medical landscape is changing so quickly. And you see me, just recently I posted in your group of entrepreneurs, private duty in-home care is gonna rocket. You wait and see in these next 5 years. We are gonna be the solution to a lot of the hospital system's challenges. And those agencies who are positioned to do that are going to get the contracts with the hospital, are going to get the contracts with the advantage care providers, are going to get the contracts. So not only are they going to get the clients like we normally do, private pay, but now we're setting ourselves up to really be an augmentation of the healthcare system, because everybody knows it's cheaper to keep folks at home than to put them in long-term care and put them in there. So you watch the business aspect of this is going to wake up here soon and realize that we are the answer to that. So top 2 ways, or top 2 methods. If you're an owner already, or a sales rep already have clients, use your existing clients. Secondly, if you are someone who doesn't have a whole lot of clients yet, get super clear on who you want to serve. And it's because people want to do business with people who are experts. Anyone could go out and hire a sales trainer. Anyone could go to Sandler or anyone else, generic sales training. But why do people hire me? Because I know, right? I'm an expert in home care and how to get patients and how to get clients on service. So people want to do business with people who are experts, and you are an expert. You are an expert in home care, and specifically the ideal patient or client that you're desiring to serve.
Awesome. And what I hear you saying too is from someone who comes from more of the private duty background, and even from a discharge planner's perspective. Now, I was a discharge planner many moons ago, but if you came to me and told me as a private duty provider how things are going with, June or Mary or whoever it was, and gave me some updates, that story is going to stick in my head. So when I'm talking to other people, and I can't recommend necessarily one home care agency, I have to give them the list. I can say, here are some stories, here are some things that I've heard, or here are some, here are some things that I know to be true about certain home care agencies that we've referred to in the past, or that people have chosen in the past, or however you want to phrase that. But those stories are going to stick with me, because I am so happy to know that that as a discharge planner, I made the right choice in helping that family, and they made the right choice in selecting you as a private duty care provider. So it makes my heart happy to know things are going well, and it will make the next family happy to know things will go equally as well. So those stories really do stick with me. And if I did only had a couple of patients as a new person, if those patients are doing well, or those clients are doing well, that's still a great story. You don't have to use names. You don't have to tell anybody who they are, but just to know that you have clients that you've kept out of the hospital for 30 days, that have certain diagnosis. So in private duty, I guess what I hear you saying, and I've heard you say this before, is we need to get smart about what's going on. It's not about the bed bath. It's not about the sitting next to somebody and talking to them and the companionship. Those things are a given. That's going to happen. Great care is going to happen. But knowing the diagnosis, knowing the last time somebody was in the hospital, and knowing that you've kept them hospital free for 30 days is a real plus for everybody. So you got to keep track of that stuff, right?
Agreed. And I will share with you that one of the exercises we do in the academy to identify if you're talking about a feature or a benefit and how that fits into your USP. You know, nobody wants you to talk about bathing, dressing, grooming, or doing the bed bath. What we're really talking about is what is the result of your services. So I always ask, what are you going to have, do, or be from the customer's perspective once they engage you, right? So once they allow you to care for one of their clients or patients, what are they going to have, do, or be? Not the client, but what is the result for your referral source? And we spend a lot of time on that because differentiating is hard. I think oftentimes people will go, well, we do the same thing as fill in the blank home care, right? There's 1,000 franchises and even more proprietaries. So how do you differentiate yourself? And it always goes back to me as for the result. What is the result of the services that you're going to provide to the person that you're speaking with? And it's not always about care. I mean, ultimately it is for the end user, but maybe not to the person that you're speaking about. And one of the ways that you can do that is to make sure you have a step-by-step process. The structure will give you freedom, meaning we have a 6-step process. And in the very first step, we have 6 questions we like to ask. And those help us get not only qualify that particular account, but also, are they willing to do business with us? And that's the 6th question. Are you open to trying us if they haven't before? Because I want to know straight up front, your time is so precious. I want you to be in front of people who are willing to try you one time, right? Let you prove your customer service to them. So one of the things we didn't talk about here, but process is so important, and we teach that because I want an owner to know that their reps, or if they're doing the marketing, that they're going out there and approaching this, and they're not leaving anyone on the table. They're not leaving anything behind. And a process gives you that structure to make sure you're hitting all those key points, but you still get to do your own flair. It still feels natural to you and get in full integrity and authenticity. So recognize that your job as an owner is to get the tools you need for your sales reps or for yourself. As a sales rep, your job is to make sure that you're not letting anything fall through the cracks. And I think that's extremely helpful when you think about tactics of going in and working with a referral source.
Awesome. That is so good. Thank you so much for all this. So tell us, now you mentioned that the next academy is in April, but people can start anytime. So tell me 2 things. Number 1, where can people see you in the next few weeks or months? Like what kind of conferences are you speaking at? And another one is, and then tell me more about the academy and April in Dallas and how that works.
All right. So we broke up a little bit, so I'm gonna just guess a tad bit on what you asked. But I think you asked where we're speaking at next. I am speaking in Massachusetts at the Home Care Association meeting there at the end of April. I'm also speaking at CASA in May. If you happen to be in California or on the West Coast, I'll be at that event. As far as the academy is in April, April 9th through the 11th. near the Dallas airport, and it's a great 3-day event. But please know it's not just the event. It's also part of the online learning system and support platform. In addition, April 12th and 13th, we will be having the master's program. And the master's program is really about bulletproofing your accounts. You know, I talk so much to my reps. I work with a number of reps right now, and I just got off the phone with an owner this morning, private duty owner, and who's doing the marketing. And we talked about how to really bulletproof her account. She's been in business a number of years, and she has a good clientele, but it's getting chipped away by the competition. And so we talked about, for me, at a master's level, it's about protecting revenue for our referral sources or producing revenue for our referral sources. And how does home care support that? How does it support their goals? So we talk an awful lot about goal alignment and how do we interact or meet our referral sources where they're at in their business process, and not only just to serve their patients, because serving their patients is a given at that point. So master's program and High Performance Sales Academy is in Dallas in April. And you can learn more about that at homecaresales.com.
Awesome. So everybody go to homecaresales.com, get enrolled in the academy so you're ready for the 3-day event coming up in April. And Melanie, I want to tell you thank you so much. This has been a great 25-30 minutes of information from the expert in direct referral marketing. So your 2 best places to get clients are going to be your direct referral marketing efforts. Listen to Melanie. Wait a minute. Which way should I go? Melanie. And also get your online act together and make sure that your online presence is awesome. So visit Melanie at homecaresales.com.
Just really quick, my most successful clients, and maybe you can share this too, it's about 50-50. 50% of their leads are coming from online, and 50% of their leads are coming from their direct marketer or salesperson, whatever you call that person that goes out in the community. I will share with you that traditionally the folks who go out in the community have higher conversion rates. And Val might be able to speak a little bit to that, but you really need both sides of this, especially in the private duty world or the in-home care world. We need both that consumer piece and then our medical referral sources who are still making decisions for our, or at least influencing decisions for our elderly and folks who need help.
Very true. Your online presence is now your business card, and it can't be a static presence that never changes. It needs to continuously evolve. Everything that you're involved in direct referral marketing, all those events and branding opportunities and things that you're out there doing, those need to also show up on Facebook and on your website and all those other places. It all works together. So Melanie, thank you so much. We have done a great job here. We made it. We did the technology thing and it worked. Woo! All right. So everybody go see Melanie at homecaresales.com. And thank you, Melanie. That's it for today. And we'll talk to you again maybe next month. We'll do this again. We should do it once a month. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.